There
What
we
the
go.
fuck happened this morning?
Oh, everything happened this morning. I don't know if you've been tracking this, Justin, but we got like 22 followers this morning, like really quickly.
Oh,
And
nice.
Wad Zombie reposted our like thing we did with James Townsend, and like everyone's like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh no." And then Andrew Hiller DM'd me personally. I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I don't know. I have no idea, dog. I don't know." Yeah. Oh, sorry, not Andrew. Dex and Wad Zombie. I said Andrew Hiller. I had him on the brain.
Oh,
Yeah, because you
cool.
were also messaging him. I
Yeah.
swear, I look at our account every once in a while, and I'm like, "What was Ken up to yesterday?" And there's 50 new DMs, and I'm like, none of this was on my radar whatsoever.
You gotta get at a computer. You're at a computer, right? I just sit here and I have three screens, and I'm like,
I drive like a half hour back and forth to my normal job, which you have a normal big boy job, and it's a well paying job, but you get to do it at home. So for all the people at home who are still doing this COVID telework thing, lucky you. But Ken just gets to wake up, make an espresso, touch himself on the couch for a little while, all while he's sending emails, and none of you guys have any fucking clue.
like I got my dick in one hand, I got the phone in the other, going, "Oh man, it's great to meet you guys."
And then he's got a dog just sitting in the house, just hanging out with him.
She's right there,
Go.
sunbathing.
Yeah, so everybody who gets to do that, you're very fucking lucky.
Oh yeah, you got to get with the time, Steve. You got to quit the army. It's not worth it.
Well, there's a thing about that.
Yeah, you're the child.
My wife doesn't want me to, and then I have the child on the way, so I'm not.
Yeah.
Unless Instacart decided to pay me $80,000 a year to say their fucking name on this podcast, I'm not leaving.
You're one step away.
I'm not fucking leaving. Well, they better hurry up because I'm coming up on a retention time frame, and I gotta let them know.
A retention time frame.
Yeah, it's like next November. I gotta know if I'm staying in for more years or not.
Wow. Jesus, that sucks. But anyways, enough of you and me, Steve.
Oh no, there's never enough of us. We'll continue.
Let's get to Modballs and Justin.
If Modballs thought they were coming on this podcast to talk about Modballs, they were slightly correct.
To see the show. I mean, I'm just enjoying
to see the show.
To see it, you're slightly correct. We'll talk about Modballs.
There you go.
Justin, go ahead. Give us a lowdown. Who you are, what you do. The fact that you're a Green Bay Packers fan makes me start to throw up the gummies I just had. But
hey,
go ahead. Let me know.
We're in Utah. We have to farm out. We don't have our own team, so
you guys have not a football team. I was going to say you guys have the Jazz.
We got the Jazz, but not football. So
they're not that great, anyways. But
there you go. Yeah. So I'm one of the co-founders of Modballs. So we just kind of kicked off just in October of last year. We did a little kind of pre-launch event at the CrossFit Finals out in Madison, Wisconsin, and it went really well. Had a great time out there. So it's kind of unique. It's a fun product. I've been involved in natural products pretty much my whole career. This one was developed by a friend, and it's amazing. It's pretty cool stuff. So, he and I got together and started this little company. So we're just young, just brand new, getting kicked off.
Sounds a lot like us.
We sound similar, like real similar.
But I think Justin's probably getting paid for it.
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
You get there at some point, right?
Did you just drop it? My God, you got to get rid of that background, buddy.
No, it's right here. Here we go.
Oh my God.
There you go. That's our stuff right there.
But no,
I've had those peanut butter ones. I love the peanut butter. My wife likes what's the other flavor? It was like coconut.
Yeah.
Almond coconut.
Yeah.
She likes that one better. So it's even split in this house now.
Yeah, we get that. It's about 50-50, between the two. So
I haven't tried it yet because I didn't get them until like 2 days ago. And I was like, today's my rest day because I did all the occupational games workouts. And I was like, man, I probably should eat some of those before I go on this podcast. But I was like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not doing anything. So it's no point in doing that.
Yeah.
But no, you said that you've been doing natural products your whole life. What do you mean? What were the other things before that? I guess I don't want to say failed ventures, but other things you've done.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, really, it's just been kind of a spectrum. I just have a passion for health and for helping people, right? And so back originally, when I just started my career, I was with a little company called Noni Juice, Tahitian Noni Juice. So it was way back in the beginning. They started, this is 26 years ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was involved, and I kind of became involved and worked with them for about 13 years. Great product, still a great company, still out there today. And then I started up with a brand new little company called ASEA right after that. Yeah. It's a really kind of techie product made with salt and water. Great company as well. It's, great for recovery and all those kinds of things. Worked with them for about 13 years as well. And 4 of those was in Munich, Germany. So I moved over to Germany for 4 years and kind of opened our European business over there. And again, great company. This kind of came my way. And again, it was a really close friend of mine. I kind of built this unique affiliate program, and I didn't have a product, but he had a really great product that I just fell in love with. And, the rest is history since October. So
how are you guys profitable yet? Or
we're getting there. Not quite, we're right at that kind of break even point.
Mm-hmm.
So, we put in, my partner put in a fair amount of money. It's all kind of self-funded. And we're just kind of getting to that break even point now.
So how do you use Modballs? Like, explain that to the people. How do you use these things?
Yeah. So it's an energy product, right? So it's fuel for your body. And the interesting thing is you got a lot of stuff out there that's like proteins, right?
Mhm.
Everybody's talking about proteins and this is how you fuel. And the challenge with just straight proteins is they take a long time to break down, right?
Mhm.
And so it's part of the question, but it's not the full thing that you need, right? So we created Modballs almost as not really an alternative to energy drinks, because there's a place for those, right? You need the spike, you need the caffeine in some places, right?
Yep.
But these are more a sustained burn. So it's a mix of healthy fats, carbs, and proteins that give you kind of that full spectrum of fuel that you need at different parts of your workout, right? So we targeted CrossFit because it's just perfect for those guys. I mean, those guys are burning serious calories. They're just cranking nonstop. And so these are really easy for them to use because it's 100 calories per ball, right? And so they'll pop these pre-workout. They'll do it all throughout during the workout, just as a great fuel source.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a lot of like marathon runners, Ironman. In fact, we just started working with the #1 ultra marathon runner in the world, Camille Herron. She's been using them for her races, and it's just a great product for that, sustained energy that you need when you're active, right? Whether you're an athlete or if you're just, mom and pa across the street, right?
Well, it's much more different than the quick fixes that everybody wants now, right? The bangs, the monsters, the 5-hour energy, all that stuff. They're like very quick. Most of it's liquid because it's got the caffeine. It has the what's that? It's not creatine, but it's one of the other chemicals in Monster, or it's like taurine, or something like that. Where it's just like instant hits or like within like 10 to 15 minutes. And obvious, like big spike of energy. Most of the time it's crash. This is talking about longevity where you're going to have a long day at work. You need proper nutrition and energy. I can eat something the size of like a golf ball. I wouldn't say that that's like proper nutrition throughout the day. Don't anybody just eat like one mod ball and be like, cool, I don't have to eat the rest of the day. But if you're going to be in business meetings and you want to stay awake, if you're in the army and that you have to go do a whole bunch of random things all the time, and it's going to last 6 hours, take one of those.
A ruck.
If a ruck would be great,
ruck.
especially instead of having those goos. I know that used to be a thing. People used to do that and slurp it down. I would much rather chew on a peanut butter mod ball. Be quite honest.
Well, and that's the thing, right? They taste good. A lot of the times, even protein bars and things like that, I can barely gag them down, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy that developed these, he's a literal food scientist genius. He just has a gift for flavor and making things really, really highest quality. And that's why I like him, because they're kind of.
So he's an artist.
Right? They're pretty good. He's an artist. Yeah.
So he's like molecular gastronomy on steroids.
There you go. It's kind of fun. I mean, the way he started with this was he's been developing products for 40 plus years, right? He's a food scientist for a long, long time. But he had, his daughter's playing tennis. He had some kids in his neighborhood that struggled because they were just overdoing it on the energy drinks, right? Had a kid drop on the football field. You're hearing more and more of that, just scary, scary stuff.
Yeah.
And so
kids are drinking them for the taste now too.
Good for these kids, right?
Yeah.
And so he started making for his daughter's tennis team, and they kept asking for more. And there you go, just takes off.
I like how at the bottom.
I mean, a lot of people. Go ahead.
I like how at the bottom of the page, like right down here, it says, "Don't DIY these at home. Your mod ball would be the size of a Mini Cooper."
Yeah, there you go.
Like that.
I mean, you got 85 things in there. A lot of people try to make them at home. You can't put 85 things in, in a kind of do-it-yourself place. So it takes some manufacturing know-how, and it's kind of fun.
And understand.
Wow.
There's a lot of science in this, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about Steve, the food scientist, he's a co-founder, right? Is it has to be perfect. It has to be the highest quality ingredients. You don't cut corners. It's got to be absolutely every little piece is meticulously chosen, right, to do what it's supposed to do.
So you're telling me there's another co-owner named Steve of something out there that is probably very handsome, very smart, doesn't like to cut corners, and doesn't like taking bullshit from other people.
Exactly.
So,
it sounds just like Steve. All the Steves are the same way. Just, I'm gonna just call it
Steve's.
Yeah, just Steve in it. What are you doing? I'm Steve in it right now. Just going back and forth.
Don't you start taking that tone with me.
But Justin, how did you even so what is your educational background? How did you do this?
I'm a school of hard knocks guy. I just kind of came up, I helped my wife finish college, and I just started working with some of these larger companies, and my career kind of took off and just kept growing and growing. And I actually didn't get back to college, still haven't at this point. So, I guess I don't tell that to my kids very often because they think that's the path they get to take. Right.
Yeah.
But, I've been very lucky, very fortunate along the way to just work with great companies and work with really great mentors. Right. So.
Well, I mean, it's wholeheartedly their choice to not go to college, I guess. But I'm going to tell my kid, do not expect any of dad's money. You're fully welcome to be like, no, dad, college is for nerds. Elon Musk says I don't have to go to college. I can just go work at Tesla. Well, if you go get me that job at Tesla, you can sleep on my couch, but you're going to pay rent. So you can do it. You don't have to go to college these days. You can then join the army. You definitely don't have to go to college.
Oh God, don't do that. I think more and more people we have on this podcast don't most people that come in here as small business owners haven't had a college education. They just learned through life and they took those steps. And I mean, I don't know what type of economic background you came from or anything, but for me, it was all college. And I was like, you need to go to college. And I went, then I went again, then I went again, then I went one more time.
Small flex.
And I was like, I do it every episode. And I'm like, this is stupid. This is so dumb. And now we're doing this podcast. And I'm like, man, I look forward to the podcast episodes because I don't have to look at a spreadsheet all day and numbers. I just get to talk to people.
Well, it's not just high school anymore that we're teaching people things they don't need to know. But how many college credits do we have to go obtain through what's his name said yesterday? Trigonometry. Have had to learn how to do all that through algebra and everything. I still only use common sense if it comes down to y equals something plus something. It's well, that only is the thing that I don't fucking have. So I gotta add these two fucking things I do have together to get what I want. That's the only time I ever use algebra. But I have not used half of the goddamn shit that I learned in school. I'm not saying people should know what geography looks like or who George Washington was or how to do basic multiplication and division. But at the end of the day, I need to learn how to finance a house or what the cost of living is turning out to be like. But we all kind of get the reason why they don't teach us that.
Exactly. I don't know how much of, linear I don't know. Linear regression. Like people go, oh, how do you do statistics? Like linear regression. There you go. And they go, well, how often do you use it in your day-to-day life? I go, I use it once every month. That's it for work.
Yeah.
And I have a computer that does it for me. So
well, that's the other thing is we now have these tools that do everything. Like when we had those big ass calculators for algebra and shit. It's like, when am I gonna? Yeah, when am I gonna pull out my TA something 50 plus whatever, and I'm gonna whip that out of my kitchen counter and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do math now." No, I'm gonna fucking ask Google or Siri or Alexa, "Hey, what does this math problem come out to?" And they're gonna be like, "Oh, hey, here you go."
Comes to this. But like Wolfram Alpha, when I found that out and it showed all the work for me, that's how I got to college. Like, there you go.
Now there are some college classes that you clearly have taken, Ken, that have given you a leg up, or at least like especially a part of this podcast. You're a smart dude, but you're also able to figure some things out and you know some things based on like college classes that you went to. And I don't think it's all just about the degrees that you've gotten.
I think Justin could answer this. It's all about experience. Like, yeah. Justin, how many times have you encountered a problem in life? Like, yeah, I've seen things through my college class that I go, oh man, that's, now I know how to not mess this up. Most of it's history. Like learning history will teach you a lot, but how often, Justin, do you go into work and you have a problem that requires common sense?
That's it.
So problem solving should be a class in
kind of learn through the fire and through the hard stuff, and next time hopefully you don't mess it up as bad as you did the last time, right?
Exactly. I mean, do you agree with how the educational system is formed? Like, do you agree with that?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's challenging. Again, I've got kids in school, and it's sometimes I'm scratching my head trying to figure it out, right? So I don't know. There's definitely some challenges there, right?
Yeah, it like resonates with me because I listened to this comedian named Joe Coy, and he was talking about this skit where his son, was doing bad in math, and the teacher called him, and he was like, "Yeah, I pay, a college tuition for my kid to go to, middle school." And he was like, "Yeah," the teacher called me and said, "Yeah, we have a problem, Mr. Coy. You got to crack open that book at home and help your son out with this." And he went, "Ha ha, sounds like you owe me money because you get paid to teach my son math." So yeah,
I tell them to get fucked. You're not getting any more of my time.
Well, and the way they're doing it now, it doesn't look anything like when I did it. So I'll be learning with them. So
it's like
I wonder why that is.
Common Core math. Like, you don't have to revamp everything. Like, most of the work that I do on a day-to-day basis is just repeating what someone else did and refining just one little thing out of it, and then just saying, "Oh, this is my thing that I created," and they go, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool," and they think I'm smart.
Here's some problem solving that the world could use. I'm watching this lady watch her car get towed because she doesn't have a parking permit to be at our apartment. Now, what kind of problem solving do you think she's going to have to go through today?
She's going to go through like $500 with the problem solving to get it out of the tow lot.
Mm-hmm. Either that, or I wonder if she can bribe this tow truck driver.
I mean, she's one flash away from probably not having her car towed.
Well, I mean, the car is on the bed of the truck, so she's got some work to do.
Oh, yeah, you got it on the bed. It's done. But
there might be a few flashes over a couple of weeks.
So as far as problem solving goes, Justin, what is the hardest problem you've had to solve with this business, Modballs in particular?
It's especially with a startup, it's always just getting out there, right? Just kind of growing your sales early on it's a struggle, right? You're pushing that flywheel, you're pushing it really hard, it's heavy. Then at some point it starts to take off, right? Which is good, but man, it's a lot of work up front, just pounding the street and getting to know people and helping to educate them about what you've got, right? Why it's different than anyone else.
Exactly.
It's like Ken trying to put this podcast out to every single goddamn person in the world. And then when he schedules things and he just bombards me with messages. No, it's not so much the time. I don't know why we scheduled this one for 11 o'clock because I'm almost never home by 11 ever. But he has such a reach so far that it pales in comparison to what I thought we were going to be able to do.
Really?
Because, okay, maybe I'm saying that wrong. All right, so that's backwards. My idea pales in comparison to what Ken does because there's, I don't know, each almost each and every day. He's like, "Hey, I have 2 new podcasts ready to go," and I'm like, "Well, hang on, we have to schedule these things out, my man." And he is rolling through it. So part of this, not that I don't enjoy the podcast at all at any time, but I'm like, do we like to get the startup portion? It's like making sure we hit the building blocks of like pushing it out, getting good guests, making the content what it should be or what we want it to be. And then from there, again, like we talked a little earlier about sponsorship deals and stuff, but that would probably be the 4th or 5th step there. Because then that's at that point, that's like Ken said, like, oh, when we make it, which I don't think anybody ever really knows when they made it. But I guess like if I go to Six Flags on a weekend and somebody's like, oh, hey, you're that guy that talks shit on that YouTube page, probably be like, hey, you know what, man? Maybe I have made it.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point that I take it back. What I realize that I'm good at is networking. Like I'll reach out, I'll cold call somebody and go, hey, we do this and do that. Would you like to come on and talk about it? You know, if you offer someone an incentive for doing something, 9 times out of 10, they will hop on and do it. And
well, it's also free promotion for just about anybody.
Oh yeah. I'm all about small businesses. Like every restaurant we go to is some small place here in Colorado Springs or Denver. And I can see the dude making the food and I know exactly my money's going in that dude's pocket or that waitress's pocket.
And you can only hope.
That owns it. Yeah. I mean, speaking of like nutrition and education, you made a comment about, people not knowing what they're putting in their bodies, Justin. So I remember going back to Tennessee back in 2017 and seeing my family, and 2018. That's when I first started CrossFit. My family was like, "Well, how do you look so good? How do you, maintain that?" I'm like, "Well, I eat a balanced diet, I try to stay away from processed sugar, et cetera, et cetera." And they're like, "Well, why?" And I'm like, "Well, sugar converts to fat quicker than anything else. It's gonna, you're gonna retain that." And they went, "I thought fat makes you fat." How much of an educational point does like Modballs make to that whole sugar aspect? Like there's a good time to have sugar and a bad time, but how do you think you will be able to educate people on getting this? Because the education is a big point, a big selling point of your product. If people don't know that this is bad for them, you have to do kind of the antithesis of what you're doing so you can prove it to them.
Yeah, well, and that's the key. The interesting thing today, though, is people are getting more and more educated about it, right? Mm-hmm. They're starting to realize, hey, I need to put good things in. They're starting to focus on sugars a little bit more. And again, they have their place, right? There's a different place for just about everything there. But with Modballs, we wanted to try to create that alternative. And, we just sat at a big event over the weekend here in Salt Lake City called FitCon, right? And I was amazed as people are coming up to us. These are people, they're coming there for fitness, but they know, right? They're picking up the bag. They're looking at the ingredients. They're saying, okay, what's in this? Is this good? Is this something that's going to be harmful or helpful? And so more and more, I think people are starting to get the message. Then it's just those really key points. What is it that you're looking for? And how can we fill that gap for you? Right. We sweeten with just raw honey. And I think people are starting to realize raw honey is a really, really good product for you, right? It helps your body in so many different ways. You've got the soluble fibers that, help your body to flush things well and just, do what it's supposed to do. So, one big part of it for us is when someone picks up your ingredient panel and starts looking at it.
Yeah.
You want them to recognize what they're seeing, right? You don't want them to say, whoa, what is that? I don't even recognize, what's that word, right?
So maltodextrinase polysorbate. You're like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is it? Yeah. But yeah, that's like, I wish that more people were educated about what they were putting in their bodies. The whole COVID thing happened and people that I know that did hard drugs are like, I'm not taking that shot. My body's a temple. I'm like, bro, I've seen you do a line of cocaine off somebody. What do you mean? Like, you can't say that. I remember when you were 20, you did some sketchy shit. Like, do you think there would be a point where you would actually seek to educate people on like more of a panel basis? Like, how often do you go to competitions and sit down and have that, panel conversation?
Oh, we'll definitely do more and more of that. I mean, it's kind of like in stages, right? When you're just starting up, there's the marketing side and then there's the educational side, right? And they're almost opposed. Because if I got to sit down and talk to someone, for 30 minutes before they're willing to try my product, that's tough to do, right?
That's a tough sell.
It takes a long time. So you try to get the message out in a really concise way, enough for them to try it and say, yeah, this is good. I like it. I like how it makes me feel. But then you kind of take it the next stage after that and start to say, okay, what is this really doing for me? So you'll see us, do lots of things like that. Maybe it's a panel, maybe it's talking to athletes who are actually using it, right? That know what this is doing for their body, like the CrossFit guys that, we connected through, right? And I think that's going to help a lot of people, right? Help them to kind of see that there is an alternative to that spike and crash lifestyle. If you can keep that sustained energy, maybe it's not so much, bouncing off the walls, right? The minute you take it, but you're going to feel it. You're going to feel, and you're going to feel good. It's not going to upset your stomach or, cause those problems. And, you often don't realize, especially when you're young. Look, I'm getting older now, but when I was young, I didn't care, right? It was whatever, I just throw it down as long as it, wasn't too harmful, I'd be all right. But, now that I'm getting older, I'm thinking, okay, those things are important, right?
Yeah.
Like extremely important. I don't know about you guys, but I'll get in the middle of I think my worst time domain is from 15 to 18 minutes. Anything between there, I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Like if it's shorter than 15 minutes, I'm good. If it's longer than 18 minutes, I'm good because I can kind of get that frame of mind of, I'm basically running a 5K. I'm at the same energy usage of the 5K. And I look at the energy system breakdown. I'll pull it up here in just a second. Can I find it real quick? So the question I wanted to ask you is what did you ever look at the energy systems that CrossFit put out and kind of go, that makes sense. How do I, help, people get over these little humps? I'm going to share it real quick. Here we go. This thing right here, I'm going to zoom in. Let me slide over. Let me just click it. I'm going to just go to a random website. But this thing. So you know a lot about this, right, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, not at a scientific level, but at a high level, absolutely. Like 30,000 feet, I'm good.
Oh, yeah, you're good. We're going to cruise then. So like ATP, everybody knows that like in 90 seconds, that first minute and 30 seconds of that workout, everybody's a hero. But as soon as that 90 seconds to 2 minutes hit, you're like, I went too fast. My heart is beating fast. I'm losing it and all that. So where does your product fit in this energy curve? So, I know it's probably longer than 120 seconds, but this graph typically stays the same throughout a workout, a long duration workout. So
it's definitely kind of towards the end, right? Because that's again, you got that kind of spike and crash, but has the big curves, right? Where we're looking more for that kind of sustained burn over time. And so, that's right where we fit in.
Yeah. So you fit right in the middle of this spectrum. So you're trying to keep everybody at this 50% of total output, energy output, like right there to where you feel, because most of CrossFit is based on feel. We're trying to make sure that people, or when you're doing a CrossFit workout, it's not necessarily your heart rate, it's how you feel and how you kind of manage that stress, and also what you ate for the 48 hours prior to. If you didn't have enough carbs, you're going to be hurting. So this Modball, how many grams of carbs does it have in it?
Yeah, so the carbs, I've got it right here. So the carbs are 8 grams, and then you got the 3 grams of protein and the 7 grams of total fats, right? All plant-based fats. So you got the carbs that burn first, then the fats, then the proteins. Again, kind of giving you that sustained curve.
Exactly. I'm trying to find another graph. Bam, there we go. Found one. Let me try to zoom in again. It's a better one that goes up to 2 hours. It's kind of blurry, but yeah, that whole when you hit your aerobic system and the lactic threshold is coming in between that 2 minutes to 2 hours, you're basically using what you stored those 2 days prior to. And if you pop a Modball in the middle of that, it might, give you that pick me up you need to kind of bear through what you're getting.
I would say we probably see that the most with like marathon runners, because again, that's a long and ultra, of course. I mean, that's just crazy stuff what those guys are doing. But with marathon runners, we've got one gal that works with us that's just awesome, right? She runs all kinds of marathons. She's semi-professional. but she took about 17 minutes off of her time just using Modballs. And a big part of it for her is stomach health, right? I mean, you can take lots of things to give you those energy boosts and all those different things, but if they don't sit well with your stomach, just think about it, right? You're out on a long marathon and that stomach starts to have problems. I mean, it's an issue, right?
Yeah, I've seen people run marathons and poop their pants.
Yeah, it's no fun. It's no
That's
fun.
disgusting.
This is the truth.
Yeah.
I've done it before too. I did an ultra marathon in a White Sands Missile Range. The what is it, Steve? The Baton Death March.
Hmm.
And I did the ultra portion of it, and I shouldn't have done that. And I did not eat well prior to, and I couldn't walk for 4 days afterwards. I was like, what did I do wrong? And most of it's just nutrition, that guidance. But you dipped in the CrossFit, and I saw the Shoe Fly team because I'm pretty good friends with Jalen. I know Shaylin pretty well. We're good friends with Hayes. How did that come to be?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. It's kind of fun. Our whole business is built. We don't do a lot of massive advertising on television and things like that. It's an affiliate program, right? Mm-hmm. So it's literally word of mouth. And so there's a guy in Phoenix that just happened to connect with those guys over social media, reached out and said, hey, I've got this great energy product. You ought to give it a try. He gave them his a code, right? That they could get a discount and all those kinds of things. And from there, they said, yeah, let's give it a try, and just fell in love with the product. And now since then, they've connected with other people and other CrossFit teams, just all over the US. So it's kind of fun to see that. For me, that's the best kind of advertising. When I've got a buddy who's looking me in the eye and saying, Just, this stuff's going to work for you. It's really, really good. Tastes great.
Yeah.
I'll try that 50 times over seeing a Super Bowl ad. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, that's kind of what we do. That's how we grow our business, is just word of mouth. And we incentivize people to share, and it's pretty cool.
And where do you see it going in the next, I guess I'm gonna give you 2 years, like in the next 2 years, where do you see it at?
Oh yeah. I think we're poised for really massive growth. It seems like an interesting product that you could almost make it at home, right? That's probably what you'd think.
Don't do it, Mini Cooper.
Yeah, it looked like a Mini Cooper, but it's actually really hard. It's, you'll talk to folks that make them at home, and they're like, they'll say, whoa, I can't put that much in what I'm making, and they don't taste as good. And it's like 2 hours of work just to get these things done. Mm-hmm. We've got them done for you in these individually wrapped little packages, and you can take them on your run, you can take them on your bike ride. But it's hard. You don't find a lot of products out there like this. You find a ton of protein bars, a ton, right?
Exactly.
And it's just whether you can gag them down or not. That's what it comes down to for me. But you have very few that give you a full balance. And then, guys, for me, the absolute game changer was when I tried one. I mean, they are fantastic. It's almost like eating a candy bar.
Yeah, they taste extremely well.
Which for me, you just don't find. And so again, that our food scientist is a genius at that stuff, and it's tough to duplicate.
This little thing right here, that's
it.
Little ball of.
This your first go?
Oh my God, it's like a granola bar, but it's. Oh, that's
it's
pretty
like
good, man.
It's like taking a fruit roll up,
mm-hmm.
but in a granola bar form. Then just when you used to ball them up and just eat the fruit roll up all in one.
How do y'all get all that? Okay, so I don't know if you're going to give out your industry secret, but how the hell do you do this? Like, how is this possible, Justin?
Oh man, that was one of our hardest challenges, was manufacturing. Because, again, you start looking at other companies that may help you manufacture. That's kind of how you start. It makes it easy on you if you can find a manufacturing partner, but we couldn't find one. And so we actually had to develop our own process, had to get some equipment custom made so that we can make the balls just right. Again, we're really picky about what gets out there. And so we probably went through 4 or 5 different manufacturing processes to get to where we are today, where we can crank them out fast, and they're really, really good, right? You're going to get a consistent product every single time.
And how many people do y'all employ?
Right now, there's only about 15 altogether. with the whole team. So we've got it dialed in. You don't need a ton. I mean, we'll grow over time, of course, but we've got it pretty dialed in. We can make about 400 balls like that a minute in with our equipment, and it just takes a couple people to run it.
Dang.
God damn.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's part of the secret. Kind of fun.
Oh
And how many balls come per package? What is it, like 20?
20 balls in a package. Yep.
Ooh.
A lot of balls.
There you go.
Well, Ken, you didn't have to make it awkward.
I am gonna make that, dude. This thing is. I could sit here and eat these all day. Like, I could just eat them as a whole bag of them for a meal. That's what it would take to power me for the day.
So you're saying you can make 20 bags worth of mod balls per minute?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
There you go.
Really
this is all. I'm an engineer, so by trade. So like, this is you fabricated. You had this machinery made, right?
Yeah, it's like custom made. I mean, there's a whole process. There's a cooling tunnel so that they keep their form the right way. There's obviously the ball former, mixer, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty amazing to see. It doesn't take up a ton of space, which is, we've got some really talented guys that were able to figure that out. So it's fun.
So we got BlitzBelts came on. They have a really small, well, they have a decent sized facility for the 15 people they employ, I think. And I keep looking at you guys doing this, and I'm like, man, that's a huge risk. I know life is about risk, but you seem like you're not worried about a thing right now.
That's it. When you know what you have, I've done this long enough that when you find something special like this, I mean, they don't come along very often. There's a lot of good products out there, right? Good discoveries, all those things. But when you find a great one, the bells start going off, and just with the experience and seeing how people react to it, that CrossFit finals for us was a big, aha moment, saying, okay, we got something special here. These guys want this product. So yeah, I'm super confident. I have no doubt we're going to be wildly successful. We're doing other things too that are kind of unique. We've got a fundraiser program. We want to help schools to raise funds for their, for whatever they need for equipment. We've got all these different elements that we can bring into a really good product that we feel confident is good for you. You're going to have a good experience, and it's just all the best things wrapped into one.
So for everybody listening at home, I had on this podcast, I just ate the coconut one, and I'm telling you, I love the taste of coconut, like the consistency of it. It's like chewing something. Like, even after I've swallowed it, I can still like chew on coconut and remember what it tastes like. But it's, if you mix the granola bar with a Hershey's Kiss and a little bit of like a little touch of protein and some nuts, is what it tastes like. And it's like,
I'm glad you know that taste.
Oh, it's mind blowing. I love me some nuts, man.
Fucking child.
But it's so good. Like, I don't know why more people. I don't know what your sales are. I don't know what your market value is for your company. I don't need to know. That's all personal business. Until you make it public. An IPO comes out. But what if you had any tips for anybody that was trying to start a business? What would you tell them?
Man, it always just comes down to work hard. It's hard work. You got to be willing to put in the time, the thought. I think that's a big one too. A lot of people don't just sit back and take the time to think and strategize about where they want to be, where they want to go. You can just run full speed, but if you really have a clear strategy about what you're trying to accomplish, it makes all the difference. I learned that from a mentor. He was the VP of strategy for Kraft Foods in his prime. And so I had a chance to work with him for several years. And I'll tell you, it always came down to that. You need to stop and take the time to think about what you're trying to accomplish and build a strategic plan. And that's it.
Like having a mission statement, essentially.
Yeah.
You need that mission statement, like, why are we doing this and how do we plan on doing this, and what are the incremental steps in 1 year, 3 years, 5, 7, 11,
Yeah, and get real specific too, right? You got the mission statement, but you've also got what specifically, how many customers do we want to get before July, right? That's what we're looking at right now. And, there's something magical about putting that on paper and declaring, hey, that's where we're going. And I've seen it time and time again. If you really just stick with it and work hard, those numbers are going to happen. And, it's fun. It's fun along the way. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
How many semifinals are you guys going to hit this year? Because I know you got to go to some.
Yeah, we're going to try to get out with CrossFit Shoe Fly and see those guys. We want to get out there. I think they're going to be in Knoxville, if I remember right.
I think they got the MAC or
yeah.
Syndicate Crown, one of the two.
Yeah, something like that. We try to get to as many as we can, right? Especially people that we're working with and connecting with. We're definitely going to be at the CrossFit Finals again this year, so we're excited about that. But we're going to be at the Ironman Championships in St. George, Utah next week. So we got a lot going on. Busy.
Jesus, have you ever ran an Ironman? What is your athletic? Do you have an athletic background, Justin?
I do, but I'm more of a kind of, either run if someone's chasing me or if I got a ball in my hand. That's about it. I was wrestling and football in high school. Mm-hmm. Those guys that run those long distance things, man, I don't know. I never got that bug.
No, me neither. I still don't have that.
I like the fast, short runs.
Yeah. If I'm running for some duration of time, it needs to be really short 200-meter sprints and hide behind something. Because if I have to run more than a mile, you can just have me, man. I don't want to be tired. I don't want to be dead and tired. I just rather be tired or alive. Yeah. That's wild, though. You said outreach, right? You helping these schools buy equipment and things like that. So talk more about that. Like, what is this outreach?
Yeah, so it's a fundraising program, and it's kind of unique. We didn't get into it much, but we've got this unique affiliate program, and what we've done is we've adapted that to fundraising. So a school, often they'll go, I don't know, maybe they're selling Krispy Kremes, right, or something to try to raise funds for their team, whether it's a baseball team or a football team, whatever, right? So they'll go out and they'll get, all these kids will sell Krispy Kremes, and, Krispy Kreme will give them a percentage of those sales, right?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the bummer part of that. Let's say I just all of a sudden become a huge Krispy Kreme fan because of that fundraiser. Krispy Kreme's not going to pay that school every single time someone buys a donut, right? After they bought that first one.
Yeah.
We do. So we actually have a fully extended program where the school can come in, they offer Modballs. Again, it's a clean, very, very good product for anybody, right? Yep. They can go out, they can share them with people, and we'll give the school 30% of that sale. But then if that person comes back and buys next month, right, it's something you consume and eat, we're going to give them 10% for that organization on every sale from that person for the rest of their lives. So they can earn an ongoing fundraising opportunity.
Wow.
From that first time. And, it's kind of a fun thing we're doing. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that. And so we're excited about it.
No, I've never seen that before. I remember having to sell like candy bars for track and field. And I go, oh, I'm selling this candy. I have all this money in my hand. I got nothing for it. They give it to the track coach. And I don't know, he could be putting that money in his pocket. I have no clue. But, if you have this return on investment, like there was something healthy too, one, you're teaching kids how to eat healthier. Two, I'm pretty sure you're going, hey, read the back of the nutrition label, see what's in it. And they go, oh man, that's all that's in this thing. And it's all natural stuff. That's pretty amazing, man. Like, I don't know if but that's really important.
Yeah. We're excited about it. It's, again, the best of all those worlds, right? Good product helps people, but then we can help these organizations and, make a difference, not just that one time, but ongoing. You build a long-term relationship with the team that you love, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Are you coming out with any new flavors at all?
There's some stuff in development, right? Not only flavors, but, we've looked at things for recovery and other great products that you'll probably see down the road. Right now we're focused on these two, but we've got certainly some stuff in the mix. So
how long does it take you to come up with a product? Like, how long did it take you guys to come up with the first mod ball and get it out to somebody?
Oh, it takes a while. I mean, again, if there are lots of people out there, they'll just throw whatever they can find against the wall and make a product that's good enough. But when you're really dedicated to making something different and special, it takes time. I mean, it's constant development, whether you're dealing with the source of your product, how it tastes, and what kind of the quality assurance that comes out the other end. It takes a year. It could take a year or more to develop a really good product.
how do you determine, or not determine, but where do you get your ingredients from? Do you buy it like around the corner from Joe, whomever grows it down the street, or do you call some company and go, hey, give me all your cabbage that you
Yeah,
have?
well, it takes, yeah, it's an interesting process. You're looking for suppliers, right? And when suppliers differ a lot, so you can get really good ingredients and you can get stuff that's just garbage, right? That's fillers and things like that. And so you really have to, it takes some time to kind of work with each supplier. You bring their product in, you test it, you make sure it's exactly what you want and that it fits what you're trying to make. And then you go from there.
Yeah.
So that's part of what takes so long, is finding the right partner to supply some of your raw ingredients, right?
Yeah. And the other part of that is a supply chain issue with the world. I know it's like
Oh, big time.
mostly focused on like microchips, processors, things like that with cobalt in them, because it comes from China. China goes and gets it from Africa. They take it back to China, make a chip, and then they sell it to us, right? How has that affected you guys?
Damn
If it's
China.
affected you at all?
I know. For the most part, we've been fortunate. The types of ingredients and things we get, US based. So it's been easier for us. The big problem we had was our equipment, because some of those pieces we couldn't get here. They had to come from China. And, we had some stuff miss one ship, and then they had, we thought it was coming on the next one and they bumped it off that one. So it delayed us probably 2 or 3 months from being full production, from what we'd expected, right? Which costs money. It's, for a young company that can be devastating. Luckily we were able to weather the storm, but I'd say that it was really just the equipment that have given us the most trouble.
So you make these mod balls, you do this stuff with all this equipment. How much? So I never looked at how much a bag of mod balls costs. I didn't know that. And the second part of the question is, how do you set a price point like this? I want this to be kind of an educational thing too for everybody that listens. Can you explain all the subtle nuances to that?
Yeah, it's a lot, right? So you're starting with kind of what margin do you want to be able to make, based on what you're making, but you can make a product that costs an awful lot of money, and if people don't want to buy it because it's just too expensive, margin doesn't matter, right? So there's a really delicate balance between, what is someone willing to pay for a high quality product, and then how can you get those margins tighter and tighter and tighter, right? Part of that is the equipment. Making balls faster gives you, a better cost on your cost of goods and all those different things. So it's just kind of that push pull between the costs and then manufacturing, and then what you want your margins to be, which will set your price. So for us, it came down, we want it to be affordable for people. It's a really good product, but we want just about anybody to be able to access it, right? So it starts at $35 a bag for a bag of 20, right? But then if you get multiple bags, right, we like to incentivize people. So if you get 2 or more bags, you get $5 off per bag. If you go on a subscription, and again, it's not like a contract, if you want to quit next month, you can quit. It's easy, right? But if you're on subscription, you get $5 more off per bag. So you can get down to $25.
Dang, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So essentially like $1.04 a
Yeah.
mod ball, pretty much a ball.
There you go. Well, and the cool thing is we got other stuff too, like a loyalty program, right? If you're on subscription, you earn back 20% in what we call mod bucks, right? That you can spend to get more product and get your price down even further. If you refer a friend using your code, right, they get $10 off, you get 10 mod bucks that you can spend on products. So, it's kind of fun to watch people. They'll share with a friend and they'll get their product for free. So it's pretty cool.
Ken, I'm going to share with you, and then you're going to invite
keep going
me.
back and forth.
There you go.
And then Justin's like, what the fuck is going on here? And we're like, we found a loophole in the system.
And then when he gives us a promo code, then we're just going to use our own promo code as well. So
yeah, just keep going back and forth. It's like,
I have no shame.
It's like, why is all this money in the account? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know how it all works. I don't even know.
That sounds like cash back to us.
Yeah, it's like things like cash back. I don't even know how our code works. I just know that I'm gonna put it up there. I'm gonna buy the damn mod balls, and hopefully everybody else buys them too. And speaking of buying the mod balls, let me do this real quick. Plug you
buying
guys.
mod balls?
Go ahead and shamelessly plug this.
Oh,
yeah. So if you go to our profile, not all black and white, and you click the link tree, you go down here, we have every discount code for every company that sponsors us or partners with us. And if you click the Modballs one, guess where it takes you? Just
To Modballs.
Takes you to fucking Modballs. It's crazy.
Whoa, whose dog is that? I don't like that dog.
That is a beautiful, silly looking dog. And look, it's basically, if you cover up the face, that could be me. I could be the cover of this page.
There you go.
You know, you go
let's
here,
not get that rambunctious with our thought process.
but you go to shop, go in, you can subscribe and save, one-time purchase. You see this little bar right here? You go in here and you type in, what is it, 22?
Probably needs to be capitalized.
Pretty sure it's 20. I don't think it needs to be
I think it was
capitalized,
10, right?
10. There we go. 10.
I know. Yeah.
BA.
You might have to change it on your link.
BW10. Oh, yeah. I right on the link. I just couldn't remember it off the top of my head. There we go. You type that in, hit apply, and it'll give you some savings. Bam. You save some money. So go over and check them out. Save some money and get some mod balls, please.
Yeah, put some balls in your mouth on our dime.
That should be a slogan. Yes. Put some balls in your mouth on our dime.
If anybody comes on this podcast thinking that they're going to be like a normal sponsor and I'm not going to say dirty shit about their stuff when I can, they're seriously wrong.
They're so wrong. They're so messed up.
Well,
Yeah,
it
no.
happens. We had a guy, we don't do it necessarily, but we had a guy go around his gym and film himself asking people if they want to try his mod balls, right? But he would slur it a little bit, so you couldn't really understand what he's saying.
My
So
balls.
You can imagine some of those big dudes at the gym were like, "Excuse me."
That gives me a really
It happens.
funny.
It's not the big dudes I'm worried about. Most of them were probably like, "Oh yeah, I probably heard something close to what I think I heard." It's the women that are probably like,
Huh. You're a creep.
Hey, my dude.
Next thing I know, Steve's in prison, and I'm like, man, Jess, I don't know the baby. You got to take care of it.
Whoa.
It's
I'm
not all black and white anymore. It's just all black. That's it. I can't even put the white part in there anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because you're in prison, bro.
Well, my jumpsuit would probably be white, so it's all white.
Oh man, no, but Justin, like how what was I about to say? I can't remember. Oh, the e-bike giveaway. I read that. How does that work? How does that work?
That's super fun. So we like to do, again, just little promotions every once in a while. So we're doing one right now that anytime you refer someone and they try Modballs, we're going to enter you in a drawing for an e-bike. So we just gave one away last week to a lady in Florida. She was super excited, but it's one of those foldable kind of e-bikes.
I'm going to pull this.
For now through the 15th of May, every referral, anytime someone shares their code with somebody, they're going to get entered into the drawing.
Dang, what if we win? Then, we have to cut the bike in half.
I know, or maybe get 2 seats.
Get 2 seats. But then it would be pointless because then, Steve lives in San Antonio. I can't even he can't get on the bike. But yeah, if you guys go to Modballs Instagram page, click on the e-bike giveaway. Here we go. My internet is being slowish this morning, and bam, there's 3 e-bikes we're giving away. And describe what an e-bike is. Is the one that folds?
Yeah, so it folds and it's got the battery, right? So you can pedal, but it also gives you the assisted pedal. It's kind of a mountain bike, nice when you can take off road. It's about, I
just heard Bert Kreischer talk about
$1,800 for one of those.
Yeah, $1,899. You said Bert Kreischer said something about it?
Yeah, he was talking about these today. He got one for who's his buddy? Tom Segura got him an e-bike like 2 or 3 years ago. It was like one of the first ones. And then that's what kicked off their birthday present war, where they now have, I think Tom spent $75K on Bert's birthday and Bert just spent $100K on Tom's birthday.
Imagine that. Imagine doing that, guys. Justin, Steve, if Steve,
imagine having to have that conversation with your wife. Like, hey, this guy is a friend of mine, but I'm going to spend $100K. I made 5-10K, my wife, but my best friend, I'm going to put down a fucking whole ass mortgage.
It's not a mortgage. That's a third of the value of a home here. You can't even.
Well, it depends on whose home you're buying, but yes. And I guess he bought him like a race car or some shit. So
Wow.
He bought him so it's not a professional race car. It's not like Tom Segura, I guess, has like Porsches and a McLaren and all that shit already. So you don't need like an A1 car or anything, but it's like not a lemon, like those lemon races that people do now.
Yeah.
It's not one of those, but it's it's like a kit car, and then it's designed specifically to only be used on raceways. So like they're gonna enter in 2 bears, 1 cave racing, and then they're gonna go out and race it. But I guess he got them. He gave whoever the company or the dude was that was making the car, because you actually have to make it. It's some BMW something kit, whatever. But he was like, well, it only costs us like $70K. And he was like, okay, well, I gave you $100K, figure out what else to get.
Oh my God.
And so he bought him like the helmet, the jumpsuits, extra steering wheels, extra tires, a trailer to haul it in, and some other stuff. And then he like paid for like the first year of like all of Tom's races. Tom was like, well, I don't have a truck to pull it, so I guess I'll leave here and go get a truck after this.
That is way too much fucking money for someone just to go, I'm having a birthday party war, a birthday gift war with my friend. Justin, you probably have that much money.
Oh
but
no,
I don't.
That's a different category to me.
If I could spend that much money on a person's birthday gift, you know what I would do? I wouldn't fucking do that. They get a really expensive bottle of like scotch or whiskey, and I'd be like, all right, here you go, buddy. Bye.
What kind of scotch and whiskey are you buying for $100K?
No, not $100K. I'd like $400. You get a $400 bottle of whiskey that's really good.
Well, then you can't compare that to what they're doing, because if I had $100K to spend on somebody's birthday, I probably would also spend a different way. But
yeah, they'd only see a fraction of that for their birthday. Fuck that noise! I can't even. Do you
that's
guys
not,
sell
$400 isn't even a fraction? Let's be honest.
It's not. But you guys, Justin, you guys sell like apparel, right?
Yeah, we've got a few things. Right now, it's just promotional. We don't have it on our website yet. So we've been sending some out to some of the teams we're working with and stuff, like some hats and headbands. We're going to get some shirts and a few things up there pretty soon.
Jeez. Okay. So let me go ahead and send you our addresses so we can buy some shirts from you or whatever we can do. Well, you already have our addresses.
Yeah, I got you.
I was going to say, that sounds a lot like we just want some t-shirts.
I'll wear the fuck out of a t-shirt. I'll work out in it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go make a funny video with it. I'm going to take those Modballs. I'm going to start walking up to people in my gym, recording them.
Stop it. I don't want to know what you're going to do with balls.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to be like, hey, you guys want some of these balls? And they're like, what? And I just hand them Modballs. And they're like, oh. And we just keep making it real. And then, you know, it helps out Justin. Helps us out.
That's the secret right there. That's the game changer.
Everybody's going to think they come on this podcast, they got to have balls in their mouth now.
We could start it off with that. Just, speaking of things that come on the podcast, that big old bee behind me, I'm gonna let Steve tell you what that's about. Big old bee.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, at some point, we're gonna start writing out these whole subscription pieces to you guys, ad reads and whatnot. But the big old B behind Ken does not stand for balls. Okay, everybody get that right. Okay, and the mod on our link tree does not stand for mod pizza. It stands for Modballs. Okay, so don't get that shit confused.
I couldn't fit the graphic he sent inside of there. It wouldn't fit.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying yesterday I confused that for mod pizza.
The balls didn't fit in the square, Steve.
I thought we had made it yesterday and I could go down to Mod Pizza down the road and get a free pizza. Turns out I can't do that. So we're right back to square one with our Modballs in our hands. Okay. So the big B behind Ken stands for BlitzBelts. Okay. So head over to our link tree that's on our Instagram page. Don't come at us with some bullshit where you don't know where to find it. It's on the Instagram page. Hit that. It brings you straight to the actual website for BlitzBelts. Okay. They have a sick line of belts for weightlifting, CrossFit, etc. There's not too many people that are just wearing these belts. Now that cheetah belt, I could probably buy that for my wife. She could probably put that with an outfit. But ladies, I wouldn't do it. It's probably unreliable as it comes to fashion. But if you go up to the top, Ken, real quick for me, those people who are listening on the audio show, I don't know, play this back. But if not, go up to the top and then under shop, I believe there should be the belts. Then there should be some gift cards, some gear, patches. Where is the customize?
Custom. Here you go.
What
custom.
Is that under?
Bam.
Is that under shop?
Yep, under shop. Belts,
okay, so custom. Right next to home is shop. It's right between that and Blitz Bash. You can hit custom. There shows a blank belt right next to a camel with a dagger in its mouth. which is pretty dope. But if you hit that belt, you can go through there and they have a variety of different options to choose for each different piece of the belt. It goes everything from the hooks to the leather itself, to the interior leather, to the actual strap. Then the Velcro itself could be a different color than the strap. And the inside of the strap, the Velcro's or those two pieces of Velcro could be two totally different designs. It's some wild shit. Okay. It gets a little trippy. It gets a little trippy, and you could probably make a really wild belt. All right. So if you want that, head over to BlitzBelts. Building a belt, it runs you a little bit more than buying a normal belt. It's about $100 plus shipping and handling. But if you use our promo code, which is BAW22, that will bring your shipment and handling and all of your taxes basically back down to what the original cost is. Now, again, I can't say that for if you're getting the BlitzBelt belt builder and you're doing all the premium shit. Still might cost you a little more than $100, but at least that's the base price, and we're helping you out. Okay.
You know what else is coming?
Don't get mad at us because BlitzBelt hasn't decided to start paying me yet. So,
but you know what's coming next? You know what's coming? A not all black and white patch, baby.
Oh, no way.
Oh yeah. And that giveaway for that belt is getting announced Wednesday. So
fuck everybody else. I'm winning that.
Wednesday of this week, you're not eligible, Steve. You suck. This Wednesday, if you go and you follow BlitzBelts, follow us, then you like or comment on that post that BlitzBelts shared, that we reshared. We're resharing our story again today. You get entered to win a belt, a custom belt. So we're going to be paying for you to get a custom belt and a custom not all black and white patch.
Why do all these listeners get all the cool shit, Ken?
Because they're not us.
I feel like that should have happened in reverse, not forward. So
no, you got stuff. They sent you a whole box, Steve.
Yes, they did, which is amazing. But I don't think that we should just be giving these out for free to people. Especially when we're the ones that are supposed to make a little something on the side if BlitzBelts starts getting a whole bunch of business.
You know what we get on the side? We get the drama that happened, today, and it's going to be happening for the foreseeable future because you see what Wad Zombies posted?
Yeah, I saw something about that. I thought it was a legitimate post from Morning Chalk Up, and then I was like, oh, that means we definitely have started some shit.
No, then I rode the curtails and I started commenting on things, and I was like, oh, people are going to start to hate me.
I want to know if people acknowledge what I said more or if they just acknowledge that our podcast had him on.
They acknowledged what you said, too. It got
sweet.
So my phone's been blowing up the entire time in this podcast. A little background story here.
Oh, who's the white guy calling him a motherfucker and a piece of shit? Fucking
you 100%
asshole.
did. You said it to us. Oh, there we go again.
Well, white guy said that this guy has ALS. Bro, I don't know.
Okay, Justin, last podcast, Steve said if a certain someone got ALS, he wouldn't be upset.
I'm a spiteful man at a certain point in my life, but I'm trying not to be a mean person to this guy.
But let me ask you this question, Justin.
At least he's named after Lou Gehrig.
I'm just
it's a cool disease.
Jesus Christ, dude. I'm gonna.
That's where we're gonna stop.
I can't. You can't. No. You can't. No. You can't. Okay, Justin. Question: if you were doing business with somebody, would you? And you were trying to get a client.
Keep in mind, you're doing business with us, Justin.
You're doing business with us right now. So if
I can't sprinkle ALS in your coffee, but if you fuck us over, Justin.
All right.
Wait. Okay. If anybody out there who's family member, if they have ALS, we're so sorry. We don't mean it in a way of fuck you guys.
I mean it in whatever goddamn way it comes out of my mouth. If you have a problem with that, come find me.
Oh God. What he means is this certain someone.
We'll have chicken or turkey, and then we'll find the wishbone. We'll snap the wishbone. And whoever wins is the winner of that argument. Okay, because then you can wish that I have it, or I can wish that you have it.
Just fair. Let's say you had to take over a company, right? You were buying a company out, or you were thinking of buying a company out. Would you go to just straight to the CEO and be like, "I want to buy you out," or would you try to make it a board of directors meeting? Which one?
Are we talking about Twitter right now?
No. We're getting there.
I just bought Twitter.
I'm talking to the decision maker. That's for sure. It's usually more about relationships than anything else.
Mm-hmm. If there's a board of directors that's on that board, though, right? And they all have equal say.
You probably have to at some point, right?
Yeah, you have to at some point, right? Well, this certain someone didn't do that. They just took. took from someone and didn't ghost it, got left behind in the dirt. If you read our page, you'll find out, and you'll be like, "Oh, okay, that's fucked." Like, okay, I get it now. But that's the thing that's ongoing right now.
The thing that's ongoing with us is we gave somebody a platform to say their story, and their story was not received well by the people on the other end that were involved in said story. And instead of being grown men and or women,
podcast
or women, and just trying to find their own way of saying their own side of the story, legal matters ensued. So there's nothing like bullying small businesses and small podcasts with the potential to spend large amounts of money just to have somebody. Well, not even just to break them, just for somebody to either apologize and or retract their truth or not truth.
Yeah.
Because
based on what we know, we saw visual evidence of these truths, and we were like, "Yep, well, we believe you, buddy." We gave the other person an option. We're like, "Hey, if anybody wants to come out here and tell their side of the story, come on here. We'll sit and listen to you. We're unbiased, we really are." But yeah, that's what happened, man. That's kind of
if you want to plug your ears real quick, because I could say something right now.
You can't. No, you can't. No, this is about Justin and Modballs. This is about the balls in our hands. Wait, watch this.
Well, the balls are in our court, and if something happened with this dude on the other end of that story, I might have his balls in my fist.
Wow. In your fist? Like you're going to grab them and pull?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Like just having a man by his nuts.
That's
nothing more empowering.
I was reading an Instagram post yesterday, and it was like, even men to men, it has to be something really egregious for us to kick each other in the balls. It has to be like, yeah, you got to do something real bad to get.
You also really have to give me an opportunity at that.
Really? You're an opportunity? You're an opportunity.
No, but I'm saying you have to give me the opportunity to get there. As a man, like if you get kicked in the nuts by another man, right? The person who's receiving the kick, you had to have given me that opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
which is very seldom.
Super. Yeah, I think as a kid is the last time I did that.
I'm talking more of the opportunity where like you like laid down like spread eagle or some shit, or like the way you fell after you got hit. It was like, oh hey, I'm just gonna like be all like starfish. Like, all right, cool. You have to give me that opportunity.
I'm gonna cut ourselves off here.
Well, Justin, thanks for coming on.
We
man,
appreciate having Justin on.
It's been a pleasure.
But Justin, tell everybody where they can find you. I'm gonna pull up the stuffs again.
Yeah, tell them where they can find you, where they can find your balls.
Yeah.
Modballs.com. There you go.
They're on Instagram.
Yeah, we're on Instagram.
They are edible.
There you go.
Edible.
They have a whole bunch of edibles in them.
Yep.
Not marijuana, but food.
Oh man, if they did though. But
they should put a bunch of Ken's edibles that he takes in those. Oh my god.
They really should. It'd be
you can be healthy and high.
We'll keep that in mind.
I'm a marketing genius right now.
No, you're not a marketing genius. You're just quiet the whole time. You just sitting there writing down your thoughts. I'm gonna say this.
Well, yep.
Curveballs. But yeah,
you had good questions.
They did. They're on Instagram. Follow them. Just Modballs. It's right there. It's real simple. And then here's their homepage. If you want to go to their link tree or our link tree, if you go to our link tree, click not all black and white. It's gonna pull it up, and you can get to them faster or slower. You just don't go to their page. But Justin, it was awesome having you on, man. If you need anything in the future, let us know. And
yeah, it's been
if you send us shirts and whatnot, I'll wear it and I'll make a funny video.
Same.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I promise I'll do it. As soon as you send it, I'm gonna just walk across the desk and go, hey. And it just walked to random people, want some of these balls? And they're like, what? And here you go. And they're like, oh, it's delicious.
I don't know if that's what should happen, but it probably will.